Okay, now I will be showing you how to use keypad in making a project that will accept some numbers or a number or character, and then it will do something. So for this particular example, I will be using a keypad, a breadboard. We will also be needing an LED, red LED, a 220 ohms resistor, and of course our Arduino Uno. Now the connections are the following. First, the ground of our Arduino Uno will be connected to the cathode of the LED. The cathode leg of the LED is connected to a 220 ohm resistor, and this 220 ohm resistor is connected here on the breadboard on row D, column 5 or D5, which is also connected to the negative row on the breadboard. Now this negative row of the breadboard is further connected to the GND or to the ground. Now the anode side of the diode is on E10 of the breadboard, and we connected one connecting wire on A10, which is also connected to the anode, and this leg of the anode or of the diode will be connected to the digital pin 10. Now on the right side, we will see here the keypad legs or pins. You will see here row 1, row 2, row 3, up to row 4, and the remaining 4 will be column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. So what we will do is we will connect row 1, 2, 3, and 4 to digital pins number 8, 7, 6, and 5 respectively, while the digital pins 4, 3, 2, and 1 will be connected to columns 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our keypad. So as you can see here, I made the green connecting wires connected on the breadboard, and from the breadboard it is connected further to the digital pins 8, 7, 6, and 5. So you can trace it from here. See, this is the legs connected, or the connecting wires connected to our rows. So this is row 1. Okay, row 1 connected here, and then this is further connected to digital pin number 8, and so on. So just follow these connections, and let's look at the code now. So in the first line up to the 7th line, we just put some information about what the code is doing. So, or what is the program doing, or what is our project doing. So this is an example of using keypad such that when the star is chosen or asterisk, the red LED will be on. When you click on the hashtag or sharp button of the keypad, it will make the red LED to be off. But when you enter an ID number like 3411234, then the LED will blink 3 times. By the way, before we continue, kindly support our YouTube channel, ERC TipsKnowLogy. You can see it on www.youtube.com/channel/UCU2 as given here. There's another optional, we can change the code here so that it will be more easy for you to find the channel. So you can replace it with /C ERC 2020. That's better. Okay, so the first line for our program is the include keypad.h, and then followed by the declaration of an ID character variable where we will put the ID number, for example, of someone, and then like a password. So for this example, I put 3411234, and this character star means this is a string character variable or string of characters variable. Okay, so this ID is a string of characters variable with that number. Now the other two variables are pose for the position, and we make it 0. It's an integer variable. We have x, an integer variable also, which will also be 0. And we have two other variables, r and c, byte variable, and actually this will be a constant variable. So when you say r, it's also 4, and when you say c, it's also 4. And here, this part is the two-dimensional array, which is a 4x4 array, and its name is k. And this is where we will put the position of the characters found on our keypad. So if you're using another model of a keypad, then you have to change these numbers. But as you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3A, 4, 5, 6B, 7, 8, 9C, and star 0 hashtag or sharp D, which is exactly the same with our keypad. Then if you go ahead with the next line, you will see here another array, which is a single dimensional or one-dimensional array variable, RP, which represents row pins. So this is where we will put the digital pins where we connected the rows 1, 2, 3, and 4 of our keypad. So as you can see here, we have row 1 connected to digital 8 pin of the, or digital pin number 8 of the Arduino. So going back to our code, these numbers 8765 may be changed anywhere between 0 to 14 depending on what number of digital pins you want to use for your keypad. So for the 8765 digital pins, we use, or we put them on our single dimensional array RP, which has 4 characters in it. And we also this CP is a one-dimensional array variable that contains 4, 3, 2, and 1. Next, we have the variable KP. Let me adjust this. We have the variable KP, which will represent our keypad. So you may change the letters KP or the name of the variable for our keypad. And you can also change the letter K here with another variable. And this letter K is declared here as our two-dimensional array, as you can see here. So they must have the same name in case you decide to change it. Also, the RP, as I have explained, this is the row pins, and the CP, the column pins. And R is also another constant here, which represents number 4, and C, which represents number 4. You may also directly write here the numbers 4 for RP and the number 4 for CP, also for the R and also for the C. Next line is on line number 28. This is where we put the setup function, where you put the digital pin number 10, which is considered as an output because this is where we put our LED. On line 32, you will see here the start of the loop function, and the letter C here represents the character variable, which will be equal to the value or the character that you pressed on the keypad. So this get key function is built into our keypad, so you should not change it. But you may change the letter C to the name of the variable where you want the character to be saved. And you can also change the letters KP depending on the name of the keypad variable that you use here at the on line number 26. Now, to continue on line number 34, you will see here that we are testing if the character entered on the keypad is equivalent or equal to star or asterisk. If it is true, then the digital pin number 10 will have a value of high, which is 1, which will make the LED to turn on. So digital right 10, 1 will make the LED on digital pin 10 to be on. On the right side, by the way, on the right side of this program, I am putting the comments in order for you to understand better what this program is all about. Now, on the next lines, 38, 39, and 40, this is where we are checking if the character entered is equal to a hashtag or a sharp. So, if it is equal to a hashtag or sharp, then the LED will be off. On the other hand, if you press the letter C, we are making the value of the position or pos variable to be equal to 0. On the next line, this is where we will determine if the character that we enter is equal to one character of our ID array. So if the pos is 0, then this will become ID 0 and it will refer to the first character inside the array ID 0. So just to explain to everyone, we can go back to the character ID or the character string of characters ID. As you can see here, this is number 3 followed by 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, which is actually equal to 7 digits. Therefore, every time you press a number and it's equal to the character or letter or number inside this string, for example, you press the number 3, then the pos variable must be incremented, meaning it will be added with 1. So from 0, the pos will be 1. And if you still entered the correct number on your next character on the keypad, for example, you press 3 followed by 4, then you are again correct with the characters given on our ID. So the pos must be incremented again. So it will become 2. In other words, if our pos or POS becomes equal to 7, it means you are correct with entering the ID or the password or ID number. And these numbers 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4 may be changed depending on whatever ID, letters, characters that you want to put here. But take note that if you put more than 7 or less than 7, then you have to make sure that you are testing the correct number of characters here. So if you entered only 3 letters or numbers for your password or ID, then you have to change this 7 to 3 because this 7 represents the numbers of characters or the number of characters inside our ID. So this part is incrementing or adding 1 to the POS variable every time the character that you pressed on the keypad, which goes to C variable, is equal to each of the characters of our ID. If the character that you selected on the keypad is wrong, then this POS will not be incremented, and aside from that, it will go back to 0. So on this side, if you are successful in entering all of the correct characters, then it will make the LED to blink 3 times. So this line 51 will determine how many times you want the commands inside this open bracket to this close bracket to repeat. So this will turn on the LED on digital pin 10, This will be for half a second, and then it will be off, and then there's another delay of half a second. So the LED, in other words, will turn on for 500 milliseconds or half a second, and it will turn off for another 500 milliseconds or half a second. So it will blink for 3 times, and after that we will reset the value of our POS to 0, so that they can enter again, or anyone can enter again another ID. So this is how it works. Now if you decide to clear the entering of data, you may also press the letter C, where we put here POS will be equal to 0. So this is how the programs or the program codes here are working. So let's try it again. So and now let us run the program or the project. So let's start this. Let's close these components first. Okay. All right. So let's start the simulation. And let's press the number 1, the number 2, 3, A. As you can see, nothing is happening if you press any other key. But when you press star, look closely on the LED. If you press star, look what will happen. See, the LED turned on. So if you press sharp or hashtag, the LED turns off. Star, it's on. So the star will, or the asterisk here, will turn on the LED, and the hashtag or sharp will turn off the LED. Now let's try the 3411234 ID number. 3 4 1 1 2 3 4. So the LED blinks 3 times, and that's it. So let's try it again. 3 4 1 1 2 3 4. LED will blink 3 times. If you press 1 2 3 3 2 1 4, nothing will happen. So that's it. This is how the program works, or the project works. Now where can you use this? You can use this in your project as a security code. For example, you have a door that will open when you put the correct password or number here. You may also use this for parking systems, where the parking bar or the bar when you enter the parking area will open or close depending on the correct password or ID number that you put. So these are just some of the things that you have to do, or that you can do using this keypad example. Thank you so much. Please visit and like our videos here in ERC TipsKnowLogy. We need your support. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.